Okay, so we're going to go through a basic calibration setup on this machine. We've got our material in, we've done our slot test, we've got the coil nice and straight, now it's time to calibrate it. So what we do is we come down here in the processing controls and we'll set the cutter radius at 1.65. That's half of our router blade that we're using to cut our faces. So we go complete offset. And then we come up here to radian calibration. Across the open graph, that opens up our radiuses for calibration. So simply right node to left node, single click on each, brings up our what we're going to process. So we'll go start. Our slot's perfect, our coil's perfect. So as you can see, our machine is working at a too fast a pace. You're going to lose all your accuracy. So what we need to do is change the motor settings. Sometimes when you put a new material in, this will change. So we go to parameter settings, motor settings. So down here is your bend speeds. What we like to do is we like to keep our ACC speed at about 4,000. These are the only ones you're going to need to change, and the work speed. So we'll go from 400 down to 200. That keeps in line with your bend line speed in that as well. So we go save. And what we'll do is we'll just press resume and just see how it goes. As you can see there, the machine's running a lot slower. Nice and accurate. You run it too fast, you're just going to get this slapping around. Your bends are going to come out a little bit off. So to us, that's the perfect speed. So now we'll snap that off and we'll continue to calibration. So we've gone the bender comp first, and that's come out pretty good. As a basic calibration, you want to have this just in. Ideally, we want to get it just down inside a little bit. But for a basic calibration, that would be perfect. So now we've done that one, we'll go through again. We'll turn the material to its slotted position, and now we'll work on the gain down the bottom. Simple one click from one side to the other, and process. So you'll see, on these calibrations, the first calibrations we're working on a negative rod, because your material's coming this way and out of the way and around to that side there. So that's your negative rod. That's when you turn your radius green. So what we'll do is we'll calibrate these two and then we'll switch it to use the positive rod. You can see there, that's nowhere near right. We'll get it over here next to our graph, and that needs to be a lot tighter. So we'll go into the parameter settings. First of all, we'll turn our material to the slotted position. Radian calibration. So this one here, we're working on the negative rod in the gain radius. So we need to bring that down. The higher the number, the tighter your radius. The lower the number, the less of a radius you have. So we're going to bring that up a little bit. We want to tighten that number. So we'll click on here. So we'll make a fair change. We'll go to, say, 105. Save the parameters. And now we'll go back from right to left. Yeah. It's looking a lot tighter already. Tighter, but probably still not enough. Once you get into the habit of using your machine a lot more and doing a lot more calibrations, you'll know the numbers that you do need to change your machine by, because every machine's different. So we went from 100 to 105. We'll add a little bit more now and we'll go 108. That should bring us perfectly in line. Save parameters, okay. And then from right to left, single click and process. Slowly coming in nicely. So that is perfect. So now that we've done those two, what we need to do now is we need to work on the positive rod. Again, so we'll process the top radius again. Now what we do is we hold control while we click on the left node and go across to the right node. That turns it blue, and that's making the machine think that now it's an inside part. So now we'll actually process that now, and you'll see that this will come out on the positive rod bend the other way. So now it starts using the positive rod, and your material is starting to come across this way. Off. And you see that needs quite a bit more of a bend in that. So what we'll do is we'll go back over to our parameters, return the material, rating calibration. So this one here is at -5. So we want to tighten that radius, we want to add more to the number. So we'll go to -1. We'll take 4 out of it. These numbers aren't always going to correlate the same. This rod here will bend different to the positive rod, but they're never usually going to be the same. Save the parameters. Again, hold control, left to right. Process. Still needs a bit more. So we'll go up. Again, raising the value to make it tighter. We'll go up to 3. Save the parameters. And holding control, left to right. Process. When you're using 0.6 and the thinner materials, once you start getting a lot more out, just hold it so it doesn't slap around too much. It stops your material from changing the bend as it goes. Look at that, perfect. So as a basic calibration, that's where we're starting. Gives you a point to start your letter. You can adjust it as you go. So I got the last one to do. Wait for the machine to finish. Again, left to right, and we'll process. Once you've got these settings set and you're happy to start processing the letter, you will need to do a few little tweaks sometimes as you go along, especially when you're using the thicker materials like 2mm and all that. You want to have those calibrations perfect so you can sit this letter straight on your face and less trouble when you're fabricating. So again, that one's a little bit open. Only needs a tiny little bit. It just needs to be about there. We'll just give it a little tweak. So what have we got? We've got 100. We'll just go to 102. As you can see, these numbers are nowhere near the bottom numbers. Please don't set them the same because you don't want to have your radius is not coming out perfect. Control. There we go. Going on, it's just a natural habit when you're using these machines. And there we go. Perfect. That's giving you a perfect start for a basic calibration. We will do the next video on advanced calibration as you start to get your fitment right.